These are three types of tires that could literally be the difference between life and death on the road, yet 97.5% of American drivers stick with the exact same tire type year-round. We're talking about all-season, winter, and summer tires. And the shocking truth is that most of us are driving on completely wrong rubber for the conditions we face. Whether you're choosing between a Bridgestone Blizzak, Michelin X-Ice, or sticking with all seasons, this decision impacts every mile you drive. Let me start with something that might surprise you. There's a magic number that tire engineers at companies like Bridgestone and Goodyear have known about for decades: 45 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't some arbitrary marketing figure. It's the temperature where tire physics fundamentally changes. Below 45 degrees, summer and all-season tires begin to harden and lose grip, while winter tires stay flexible and maintain their bite on the road. Above 45 degrees, winter tires become too soft and wear out rapidly, while summer tires hit their sweet spot for maximum performance. Think about that for a moment. A simple temperature threshold determines whether your tires are helping or hindering your safety. Yet most drivers never consider switching their rubber based on the season. The story of how we got here begins in 1934, when Finnish engineers at what would become Nokian Tires faced a problem. Finland's brutal winters made driving virtually impossible with the smooth tires of the era, which required snow chains just to function. So they invented something revolutionary, the world's first winter tire, called the Kellerengas, or weather tire. 2 years later, they introduced the Hakkapeliitta, a passenger car winter tire that would become legendary. But here's what's fascinating. It took until 1978 for Finland to actually mandate winter tire use by law. Meanwhile, in warmer climates, tire engineers were pursuing the opposite goal. They developed summer tires with wider treads to put more rubber on the road and stiffer sidewalls to handle aggressive cornering. These weren't designed for comfort, they were built for pure performance, with shorter stopping distances and superior handling in warm, dry conditions. But then came what I'd call the great marketing decision that confused drivers for generations. Tire executives decided to create something called all-season tires, a jack-of-all-trades approach that promised to handle everything from summer heat to winter snow. The problem is, physics doesn't care about marketing convenience. All-season tires work by using rubber compounds designed to remain flexible across a broad temperature range, from about 14 degrees to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Their tread patterns combine elements of both summer and winter designs. But here's the catch. To be versatile enough for year-round use, they have to sacrifice peak performance in both summer and winter conditions. Let me put this in perspective with some real numbers. When Consumer Reports tested stopping distances on snow-packed roads at 30 miles per hour, the results were eye-opening. A car with winter tires stopped in about 59 feet. The same car with all-season tires took an additional 30 feet. That's 2 full car lengths longer. In emergency situations, that extra distance could mean the difference between a close call and a collision. The differences become even more dramatic on ice. Consumer Reports found that winter tires outperform all-season tires by 35% on icy roads. Michelin's testing shows winter tires can reduce stopping distances by 25% compared to all seasons. These aren't small margins. They're the kind of performance gaps that save lives. But stopping isn't the only concern. Acceleration tells another story. Testing a Honda Civic showed it took 11.7 seconds to reach 40 miles per hour on winter tires versus 14.5 seconds on all-season rubber, nearly 3 seconds and 24% slower. When you're trying to merge into traffic or escape a dangerous situation, that delay matters. Here's where it gets really interesting. Many drivers think all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive eliminates the need for winter tires. This is a dangerous misconception. All-wheel drive helps you accelerate, but it does absolutely nothing to improve braking or cornering. In fact, studies show that vehicles with all-wheel drive and winter tires stop 25% faster than those with all-wheel drive and all-season tires. Physics doesn't care how many wheels are powered, it cares about what's actually touching the road. I witnessed this firsthand in testing data from a cornering experiment. At 25 miles per hour through a 90-degree turn on snow, only the car with winter tires completed the turn successfully. The all-season equipped vehicle slid off the road despite having dynamic stability control. When you exceed the traction limit of your tires, No electronic system can overcome the laws of physics. The rubber compound differences go deeper than most people realize. Summer tires use harder compounds that become dangerously rigid in cold weather. Below freezing, summer tire treads can actually crack, causing permanent damage that requires replacement. If you accidentally expose summer tires to temperatures below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, they must warm up to at least 40 degrees for 24 hours before use. And even then, the damage might be irreversible. Winter tires take the opposite approach, and this is where studless technology really shines. Popular models like the Bridgestone Blizzak WS90 and Michelin X-Ice XI3 use rubber compounds containing higher concentrations of silica and special polymers that maintain flexibility in sub-freezing temperatures. They also feature deeper grooves that hold compacted snow, creating snow-on-snow traction that actually improves grip. The tire edges are loaded with tiny cuts called sipes that bite into ice. Summer tires maximize contact with warm pavement through wider tread patterns and lower profile sidewalls that reduce flex during cornering. They're designed for one thing: peak performance when temperatures are consistently above 45 degrees. So who's actually making the switch? The statistics might shock you. Despite living in northern climates with serious winters, only 16% of drivers in northern US use winter tires. Compare that to Germany, where 40% of vehicles run winter rubber, or Switzerland and Austria, where over half the cars are equipped with winter tires. In Quebec, winter tires are legally mandated, but 61% of Canadian drivers outside Quebec still choose to use them voluntarily. This creates a fascinating geographic divide in safety practices. Americans have largely bought into the all-season marketing message, while Europeans treat tire changes as a seasonal necessity like switching between heating and air conditioning. The tire industry has responded with new categories that blur these lines. All-weather tires represent a newer approach. They're marked with the three-peak mountain snowflake symbol, indicating they meet strict winter performance standards while still functioning year-round. Unlike traditional all-seasons, these tires provide at least 10% better snow traction than standard designs. The European Union has also introduced the new Ice Grip symbol certification alongside the 3PMSF marking, creating even stricter standards for severe winter conditions. But the most exciting development is happening right now. Nokian Tires, the company that invented the winter tire 90 years ago, announced in March 2024 revolutionary self-adjusting studs that automatically adapt as temperatures change. These studs move between on mode for grip and off mode for smooth pavement, addressing one of the biggest complaints about studded tires: their noise and road damage on dry surfaces. The financial reality often drives decisions more than safety statistics. Winter tires typically cost $400 to $800 for a set, but last 4 to 6 seasons with proper storage. When you factor in that they're only used part of the year and can significantly reduce accident risk, they become cost-effective over time. All-season tires range from $60 for budget options up to $220 for premium brands, with high-performance models like the Continental Extreme Contact DWS 6 Plus around $175 and the Michelin Cross Climate 2 for SUVs reaching $250. Whether you're shopping for common sizes like P225/65R17 or larger performance sizes, the investment in proper tires pays dividends in safety. Legal requirements are shifting the landscape too. The European Union now requires the three-peak mountain snowflake symbol for winter tire compliance, phasing out the older M+S markings. France's mountain law mandates winter equipment in mountainous regions from November through March. Austria requires winter tires from November 1st to April 15th when conditions warrant. In the United States, while NHTSA and DOT provide safety standards and ratings, winter tire mandates remain largely state-specific. Here's my bottom line. The all-season name is fundamentally misleading if you live anywhere that sees snow, ice, or sustained temperatures below 45 degrees. These tires are excellent for southern climates with mild winters, but they're a compromise that sacrifices winter safety for convenience. The 45-degree threshold isn't a suggestion, it's physics. When temperatures drop below this point, you're literally driving on the wrong tire compound for conditions. The question isn't whether winter tires perform better, the data is overwhelming. The question is whether that extra margin of safety is worth the cost and hassle of seasonal tire changes. For most drivers facing real winter conditions, that answer should be yes, because when you're sliding toward an intersection on ice, those extra 30 feet of stopping distance aren't just statistics. They're the space between you and disaster. Now that you know which tire type to run, here's the thing. Even the right tire can wear unevenly and destroy your safety margin faster than you'd expect. In the next video, we're breaking down exactly what causes uneven tire wear and what it's secretly telling you about your car.